Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Plaster and Paint Pumpkin series. Today we're going to work with plaster cloth. And prior to this, you will have wanted to create and build your pumpkin and follow the directions in the part 1 building portion of the series. You should already have plenty of plaster cloth strips that are approximately 1 inch by 4 inches long, and you do still want to remember that it is not safe to inhale the dust created by these plaster cloths, so make sure to keep a mask on when working inside and be careful with any of the dust, not to blow it around, let it get airborne, and just always being sure to wash off any surface that gets dust on it with a wet paper towel. Before you begin working with your plaster cloth, you need to set up your space for plaster. We are going to work only on the blue trays in our classroom, and you will need approximately 1 inch of water in your designated containers. You can always add more water if you run out. When ready, dip a strip into the water. Then, using 2 or more fingers, squeegee some of the water off of the strip so that it's not dripping when you apply it and smooth it down to your pumpkin. Again, you will dip, squeegee, apply, and smooth down each and every strip. And as you apply them, crisscross the strips on top of each other, working from the top portion of the pumpkin all the way down to the bottom. Eventually, you'll do the bottom of the pumpkin as well. Since water activates the plaster strips, be careful not to let water drip from your fingers into your box of unused plaster strips. In addition, you're going to need to cover all of your pumpkin with 2 or more layers of plaster strips so that when it dries, it is nice and firm. Again, work top to bottom. And just remember to really smooth down each and every strip. You should never see a piece sticking up. If you do, just take your fingers and press them down. Once you have covered your pumpkin with 2 layers on the top and the sides, you'll be ready to work on the bottom. But when you're working on the bottom, avoid your name. We are going to leave this one area of our pumpkin unplastered, and that is just that center area of the bottom where you have written your name. Just plaster as close to your name as possible. Lastly, let's talk about cleanup. It is extremely important that no plaster goes down the drains of the sink, as it will clog the drains. Instead, rinse your hands in the clean water buckets and dump all of the dirty water with plaster residue in it into the dirty water buckets. I will take care of disposing that water later once the dust has settled. Once you are finished cleaning up, take your seat and work in your sketchbook. Because next class, when your plaster pumpkins are dry and firm, you will be able to start painting them. And you want to thoughtfully plan your color scheme and design. If you want to check out part 3, the painting video on how to paint your plaster and paint pumpkins, feel free to watch it on YouTube.